Aries, good morning. How you doing? So we've got a new camera. If you haven't already seen the other videos that we've got, it actually follows me around. How you doing, Aries? So we're going to look into your environment. So don't forget you can watch this as Aries, Life Path 4 or Scorpio if you understand and that you follow me in numerology. Sorry, but I ain't got time to go over that for the newcomers. But you can watch it as Aries. You can watch Scorpio readings as well because they are major arcana 4s. And then if you're also a Life Path 4, you can also watch Scorpio and Aries readings, okay? So let's see what you've got going on in your environment for a start, and then we're going to have a look at your monthly reading. So for Aries, I've been really busy, Aries. I've been out walking. I'm on a diet. I'm on the Slimming World diet, Aries. Let's see, Aries, what they got coming up in their environment they should be aware of this month. So you have got wild emotions, Kim Wilde. So some of you are passionate, loving, pretty much in a relationship, more than likely here, feeling very pushy. Could have something to do with around a Leo maybe, or an Aquarian placement, or a place. If I say place, you say 1, 2, 3. Could be a Pisces, place, cod, haddock, fish, Pisces, or a Life Path 3 even, or Stephen. Let's see, what else have we got? So you've got nothing feels better than this. Oh, you've got some really good cards, Aries. Okay, so nothing feels better than this. And then also, if you didn't see, you've also got wild emotions. So yeah, definitely feels like Steph, Jeff, Steve, Sarah, Sassy. Let's see. So I think that you are. Some of you could be, I think you're in a relationship here, Aries. Like, I don't think it's going to be one of those, oh my God, what's going on with this knock? But we will see. But there could be a same-sex relationship here. I'm also hearing Lucy, Laura, Lucifer, which could be a Capricorn. But that could also be Gemini, okay? Because that would be a 6. Let's see. Lucy, I keep hearing Cece. You all right, Cece? Cece, Lucy. Mexico, also from Mexico. Someone that also works at Tesco's, also. If you're from Britain, you'll know what I mean. Brian, also hearing Brian. Bristol, hearing Brighton. So that would be, yeah, Brighton, Bristol. Anything that begins with B. Let's see. I was hearing Evie, Steve. Let's see, Aries. Aries, what's going on with Aries this month that they should be aware of in their environment? So in the ring, here goes another round. So you could be dealing with 3. That might be, where are you going, Dave? I'm up here. You all right, Dave? So, sorry, because it's following the face of the camera. So yeah, here goes another round. It could be a 3, okay? So if it is a 3, for me, that would be Pisces or Life Path 3. But here we go again. Jen, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack. Another round. Some of you, like I said, you're with your partner, or you're just going through the motions of something or so. I'm hearing locomotion, or the name Loki, Lakey, Joe Loki, Lakey. Lake District, Peak District. Some of you might actually be, this isn't saying it in the cards, I'm just channeling now, Aries. But like some of you could be going like around the Lake District. So like a lake, okay, or the lake, or Alaska, or someone from up north. So you could be going like Sheffield, North, Leeds. There's a lot of British energy here, I must admit. Walking around a pond, or Pond Tarot, that Nippon guy. But like here, like walking around the world. So I'm seeing like a 3 in my esoteric head, like the world. Maybe going out, walking quite a lot here. Walking around in circles, or like Lake District. But I keep hearing lake. So you might be going to a lot of like parks. Okay, I suppose you get those over in America, right? So like national parks, okay, all of that sort of stuff. Park rangers, where there might be park rangers, or I'm also hearing is it football or whatever y'all call it, with the Raiders of the Last Ark. So hold on a minute, that would be Harrison or Ford. Harrison. Anybody's got like Harrison in their name, or H. Haley, Henry, Heather. Okay. and then Ford. So anybody that's got F in their name, or Steph, Jeff, Steve. Let's see, F, Ford. Ford Focus. Some of you could be driving a Silver, the name Silver, or Ford Focus. So a car made by Ford. I don't know if you get them in America, but I know you do in Britain. Let's see, but I'm hearing a lot of national park energy here, like going around in circles, obviously, but I'm picking up, like, I keep going for walks around like a big playground or like a park or where there's a pond or something like that, or there's a big lake. Okay, water. Let's see, Aries. What's going on with Aries, please? Aries, this month they should be aware of in their environment. So you've got shots fired straight to the heart. Oh dear. Okay, unless anybody's got shot or getting shot, unless you live around a very high crimed area here or grime area. Now there could be a third party situation here for some of you. Okay, now if you're obviously in a third party, then this in the ring changes the reading and the dynamic altogether, because this definitely means that there are wild emotions and nothing feels better than the relationship that this person's already in. Okay, but if you're in a third party and the person keeps coming back to you, okay, then that person feels great, right? Because they're doing that all the time. Now, if some of you don't feel so great that a person keeps coming in and out of your life, like a yo-yo, okay, then you have to have boundaries and stop that person from doing it. Because for 1 minute you can feel really good, and then the next minute you feel really fucking bad, and then you can't understand why the hell this has gone wrong. Now, if you are in a family dynamic or anything in your external environment that means, okay, it feels really good for a day or two, and then all of a sudden everything's gone fucking absolutely haywire, tits up, and now it's starting to hurt again because we're now arguing again. Okay. Like a couple of days where wild emotions are flowing, nothing feels better than this, it's really good, blah, 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 and then, oh dear, here we go again. Danny Glover, Life Path 7, okay, or Dan, Danielle, anybody's got D in their name, and then, bang, here we go again, okay, same old shit, different story. Okay, let's see, or story time. It's story time. Let's see, what's going on with Aries that they should be aware of in their environment for June. So we've got one more card, Aries. Simping, spur on the ass, sprung on the ass. Okay, sorry, but I ain't all G'd up like a lot of people. But like sprung on the ass. So, like I said, it might be where someone just suddenly starts to spring up and they're like, oh, fuck, here we go again, Dave. Like, it's the same old thing happening again. Okay, so someone could just literally come out with it here, okay, and it just springs a surprise on someone like, here's Johnny, I'm back. Okay, and it's like, well, that fucking surprised me. I weren't seeing that coming. Okay, so, I don't know what simping means. Simple Simon, Sarah, Steve. But like I said, if you've been in a third party for a while, you're still going around it. Okay. Anyway, let's see what your tarot says. So for Aries, what have they got coming up, please? For June 2023, what has Aries got coming up? Now, this might relate to you as a Scorpio. Like I said, you could be watching this from a Scorpio, and it relates more in that aspect. Okay. But let's see. Scorpio. A lot of my clients have told me that that works more for them than anything else. Like, you know, some people that are Capricorns, they watch it as a Gemini. Okay. And they're like, you know, well, they're Capricorns, but they watch the Gemini readings and it seems to fit them more, the story. So let's see. Aries for June 2023. So you've got a 2 possible Libra energy here. Okay. So there's this energy of, like I said, this could be a problem that you got with a mother. Now, you could actually be a mother here, Aries, right? You could be a mother here. for a lot of you, this is a third energy that's probably coming through here. Someone that is like 1 minute it's good, the next minute it's bad. Positive, then negative. Okay, so if you've got a mother that's very negative, any of you out there, not all of you, if you have a mother that's very negative towards you, okay, this is looking at the downside of life all of the time, where every time you try to communicate, there's a negative, and then it's another negative, and then it's another negative. And I'm sick to death of my environment showing me all of this negativity. That every time I try to do something, or do I go somewhere, or do I say something, it's always seen in more of a negative light. Don't do this, don't do that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. I need to talk to you for a moment, but negative energy, then more negative, and then more negative. Okay, it doesn't always have to mean negative energy. It just can mean a way that someone thinks all the time, is constantly panicking, is constantly worrying, is always checking, and then is always like negative when you talk to them. Everything that they come out with, it comes down to like, okay, we start to speak on a very, emotional level. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, we're arguing because you're talking about something really negative, and I don't want to talk about negative things, right? Let's see. Thing. Could be Stephen. Or towards one. I do have 3 placements of Aries and 3 placements of Scorpio. And I am a place, which means a fish. So, let's see. Aries. What's going on with Aries, please, for June? So you get the 9 of Swords, someone that's always stressed. You've got like a life path 4, a Scorpio or Aries. Now, if I can explain to you guys that may have heard this 1,000 times or not, if you've got someone that is also a life path 4, but they are like a Taurus, but they're a life path 4, you're going to have a lot of difficulties. Because you would be Aries and also maybe Scorpio placements, and the other person be a life path 4, maybe Taurus and Scorpio placements also. That's going to be very difficult with the mum, because that is going to be extremely standoffish, okay, with the fish, which means Pisces for me, okay. But this is Scorpio Aries, right? So I'll always give you a dynamic, always, the truth, whether you like it or not. Okay, so in my environment, the person that I have the most amount of karma energy with is a Taurus North Node, okay? Taurus North Node that puts them at obviously a Taurus, right? But their life path is 4 that puts them at a Scorpio or Aries, right? So it's the opposite to Taurus. So if you're a Taurus rising, like the person, Taurus rising, Taurus North, but you're a life path 4, you're fucked. I'm just putting that out there. Because there'll be a lot of arguments that you'll find with other people of condition of belief. Okay, what do you believe in a certain way of a relationship? Okay, structure. Okay, like sticking to a routine, house, home, work, nothing else. What I believe in is what I believe in. What you believe in is exactly the opposite to what I believe in. Completely opposite. Right, so what you've got is an opposition, regardless of star sign here. What you've got is we are so opposite that every time that I look at something, you look at something in the opposite direction, and before you know it, round 3 comes and we start arguing again, and here we go around and round and round and round again. Okay, if you have got like Scorpio, Aries in your chart, and other people have got like life path 5, Taurus and Sag, they will definitely be opposite energies, okay, opposite energies. So you'll find yourselves constantly bickering, or Rebecca, you'll constantly find yourself bickering over the same routine, going over the same shit in a hell loop. Every time I get up, every time do we start ignoring each other. We barely say a word to one another, because I realize that every time I try talking to you, is it something about negative shit that I don't want to listen to? I don't want to hear. I don't want to keep going over it. Okay. So what do you get? You get wild emotions. Wild emotions start going off maybe, say, between your relationship here. Okay. And then all of a sudden, what do you know? 1, 2, and then 3rd day in the ring. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 3 girls in the ring. Okay. But you go around again. Well, fucking hell. Before I know it, everything's going well, and then bam, are we now, Pam, not getting on again? Okay. Why is that? Right, opposition. In your chart, it will be like a north and south energy that's like bipolar, a polar energy, an opposition. Someone that makes you better in the end when you end up like, they challenge you. It's a challenge within your astrology, but also numerology being more important. Okay, because if they show up as a 4, but they're a Taurus placement, but they come up as a life path 4, that's going to be very difficult in this reading. Okay, for the person that whoever they're dealing with, or you. Okay, I'm just informing you. I don't want shit. Okay, I'm just informing you of things that are in the reading, right? So let's see. Aries, what should they be aware of in there? What should Aries be aware of for June 2023? So you got 8, you see, finding it very difficult, finding it a right struggle in order to be able to cope. I'm at home 24/7. I might actually be a mum myself, and my husband or my partner is never really here. And they come home and everything's okay for a little bit, but then shit starts to hit the fan. Okay. And it's kind of like, well, you just literally sprung that on me. And that could be an argument. It could be things are not quite going as well as I expected. You know, I was expecting things were going to go really well. And then all of a sudden, the thing that you spring on me is more of a negative surprise, right? So this is always either 1, my restraining order, or 2, it's I live at home and I stay at home and I spend the majority of my time isolating myself, or I work at home, or like I'm a single mum. Okay. And I'm just at home all the time. Okay. Fog on the Tyne is all mine. Paul Gascoigne. So it could be called Paul, or Paula, or Pucci, or a Pisces, or anybody that's got P in their name. Or like, I'm also hearing Philadelphia from Philly. Philadelphia is where I spent most of my days eating cheese on a diet, Steve, but I'm not from Philly. Let's see. Let's see. Aries, what they got coming up, please, for June? Oh, my word, Aries. It don't get much better, Dave. It don't, Dave. I'm trying to tell you, Derek, it ain't getting much better. Here, you got dynamics. I mean, like I said, it ain't your fault. It's not anybody else's fault. It's preordained, you know. You know me by now if you watch me, that life is a preordained destiny. You can't avoid lessons no matter where you go, whether you run, whether you stay in or you don't. Don't matter what job you do, you're still going to learn, right? So there's a lot of dynamics going on at home. Now, there isn't nothing that you can really do to avoid this, because this is pretty much what you are doing with this person, or they are, is avoiding one another. Because this is a stick of dynamite that's got a very short fuse on it, okay? You just light it, and before you know, it's fucking gone up in your face, and you're starting to argue and shout and scream and everything else at one another. And you have a huge argument. Now, for a lot of you, this may not be your love life. This really could be to do with around like a parent that someone has that they just don't get on with. They don't get on with their mother or their father. And they just don't. It's family, okay? Now, you or they, okay? Now, if you are a person that's in a actual relationship, and at the moment this is showing your relationship, there ain't no getting through to this person. Okay, there's no getting through to them. This is like when things are really good and then all of a sudden it's just not. But here, this is not showing good cards. This is showing like bipolar kind of also energy here. Now, if someone has ADHD or bipolar, and a mother doesn't, or a father doesn't understand that the child, say, has ADHD, right? There's a lot of blame here. There's a lot of stubborn energy because the person's sick to death of being told. It's not good to tell a person that has ADHD what to do. Like, it really isn't, okay? Because a person that has mental illness, they do what they can. They do their best, okay? But when they're blamed or told or anything negative, they don't want to hear that. They really don't. That will not fall on very welcome ears, because they won't be able to pay attention to it. Because it would be like, hello, I'm trying to get your attention, you know, hello. And you're like, yeah, I know that you're there. Hello, I'm trying to get your attention. You're like, listen, I have ADD. It's called attention deficit disorder, sweetheart. I do not always pay attention. Where are you? Like, you know, you walk in and out the room and you don't never pay attention to me when you get home. You just go straight in your room and you don't never fucking listen. You get home from school or you get home from work or whatever and you go straight in your room, or you go out and you don't do anything. Okay, are you going to give me any attention at all? Like, or am I just a ghost? Elijah. But like, you know, am I just a ghost to you? Hello? Right, let's have a fucking go at you. No. ADHD. A lot of people in life, they get the blame for having mental illnesses because a lot of people don't understand it because they haven't got it. Right? It's very difficult to understand ADHD because it's so fucking bizarre, okay, that other people in life, they just don't get it. They don't get it when in a dynamic with someone. Because like I said, you can be in a marriage, okay, or a home life, and you come home, okay, and you're just kind of like, oh, fuck, all I want to do is just, and you don't pay attention to the person that's been blaming you, shouting and screaming at you, and you try to avoid them, and then they say to you, oh, okay, where's the sex? Okay, where's this? Where's that you're not doing? And you're like, I'm... right? So in relationships, when the dopamine doesn't happen, this doesn't happen. Okay, so if you're in a relationship or your marriage and your sex life is not happening at all because one of your partners really and the feminine energy or the masculine energy starts to think you're not giving me any kind of emotion, you're not really showing me any like love. I want to feel caressed and I want to feel like you love me and I want that passion. Okay, I want that wild emotion and I want that passion and I want the love that everything's going really well. But why is it that only happens on your terms? Because they have ADHD, or you do. Okay, that's what that means here. All right, guys. So I have ADHD. Don't worry about it. Okay, it's very difficult to get anyone to understand that. Okay. Sorry, I should have had a shave also, but I do. This is a 4D camera, so it shows everything too much. But yeah, this is wild emotion. Okay. And everything going extremely well. And then all of a sudden, here we go again. Because like one moment, you know, we had sex or you felt like I felt loved and I felt warm around you. And then when it came to like the passion and the love that also builds a relationship, when that isn't there and it can only be there on the terms of the person that has ADD, you'll get these energies. You will get these. Because you'll be blamed for being stubborn and arrogant and not being worried. Like you don't care about my feelings and my emotions of how I need to feel in a relationship, that you love me, that you want to be around me, but you're not showing me those emotions. Why are you not doing it? Because it's ADHD. Okay. Because this is a high energy, right? When things are going good, okay, everything's going really well. But what I would say to you is God's honest truth. If neither of you know, both get checked up, at least one of you, but I would also say both partners, okay, or even in just a connection, even with a mother or a father, is to both get sorted for ADHD, okay? I know it's difficult because it takes fucking years in Britain, 2 years, 2 to 3 years before you'll even get seen by a medical profession that can start to work with you and then maybe give you tablets. 2 years, right? They can diagnose you, but even medication, it's not going to sort out a person with ADHD. So it'll just take the edge off a little bit, but you could be medicated up to the fucking bollocks with ADHD, okay? And it still it's not going to cure it. There's no, miraculous recovery from it. It's something that you have to live with. And when you're with partners and friends and family, they have to understand. Okay, and if they don't understand, trust me when I tell you that you will get the blame for that. Okay, you will get the blame for that. Now, if this person isn't blaming you and they are kind of willing to work with you and it's a partnership, then this is a family member more than likely not understanding it. Okay, can also be passed down to generations of like your daughter or your son. Okay. I know that's a bit of a boring reading for you, Aries, but it's a very Well, it just grasped my attention. I do have ADHD, but it does grab my attention here. Okay, these two are extremely wild emotions. Nothing feels better than this. And then all of a sudden, here we go again. Shots fired. You're having a fucking go at me. You're making me feel shit. You're not paying any attention to me. I thought things were going really well. Why are you not paying any attention to me? And then I sprung it on your ass, the fact that I got really fucking annoyed and told you to leave me the fuck alone because it's confusing my brain. I don't understand it. Okay. Oh, well, you wouldn't understand me, would you? All you do is just think that I'm a narcissist and you just think that I'm fucking here just to make your life worse. You're such a stubborn, arrogant prick. You don't never listen. You isolate, you go in your room, you don't never pay any goddamn attention to me. Every time you come home, you just avoid me, you go straight in your room. And this is all going on at home. And it might not even be your relationship. Okay. Now, if this isn't you, it's them. Okay. So that is what I've got for you pretty much. I know, like I said, man, I am not the same sort of tarot card reader. If your life isn't really showing me your love life, I'm not going to try and make it fit if it isn't. It's showing me a dynamic that's going on around mental health here. 100% is the sign that I'm picking up. Two cards that mean wild passion, love, and emotion, and then none. So the none. So you want to listen up if you're actually watching, because you could have it. Okay, so there you go, guys. So if you would like to join Patreon, it is the bronze, silver, and gold tier. Bronze tier is obviously just monthlies, but it's now open again, obviously, for the monthly. So it's only $2 or $3 in order to join. You get all 12 star signs, and then you can follow me in numerology as well. Okay, so you basically get you and your partner and all your numerology placements. You can put all the story together, and there you go. You can figure out what's going on. If you want the silver tier or the gold, that'll be where the weeklies and everything are and the teaching segments for the gold. But if you want weeklies as well as monthlies, then you're going to need silver or gold. Okay. Also got the join button that is provided below for when I go live every other night, apart from the last couple of nights because I've been taking a break and concentrating on my diet and my exercise and my mental health. But yeah, so the join button is there for tarot card readings for people. When I call out your name, I'll go live, and if you're there, you'll see. Okay? All right, guys, thanks very much. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you over on the other side.